Please be sure to support the video we reacted to today by clicking the link at the top. Enjoy the show! Screw it, let's check it out. I've been waiting to see this one, and I wanted to see it, and I'm gonna see it. Let's see it.
Hello, you absolute legends. Last month...
Now, is this the first one or the second one? So there's two videos of these, and I feel like this is gonna be the perfect time to check it out. I freaking love watching speedruns. Not speedruns necessarily, but like, I like just sort of watching, people fighting really, really difficult bosses, like on, Elden Ring and stuff. Let me readjust this back to where it used to be. There we go. Things like on Elden Ring. I will add you on my Discord, my dude. You sent me a request, I got you. Join the Cantina as well. We have a Discord, for the channel, for the community. There you are. Okay, I see you. There you go. Bam. I see your sassy peach sticker. Love it.
Month, these...
Alright. So yeah, for those who don't know, apparently this is a, and I actually have a little bit of extra context now. This particular blindfolded speedrunner, also freaking apparently has been doing quote-unquote blindfold speedruns since like 2021. People have found other videos of her speedrunning that may or may not have been legit too. Let's check it out, my dude.
Hello, you absolute legends. Last month, the streamer known as Queen Ponsalot pretended to beat the dragon Alatreon wearing a blindfold. This garnered her quite a lot of attention, but when people experienced with the game she was playing and those experienced in blindfold speedrunning saw her video, they realized immediately...
We're sort of past that, the whole world is sort of past that. Go check it out on Carl Jobs' video. He has a where it explains the first blindfolded speedrun that she did. She did a blindfolded Alatreon kill on Monster Hunter, but it was like pretty obviously faked just by the fact, like just her camera movements, everything, like it was fake. She did a secondary blind speedrun to sort of prove that she did it legitimately, but now it comes out, you can pretty obviously see that there was another monitor off camera. So it's kind of like, and where potentially she had Discord on. Not Discord, potentially she had OBS on. Or some kind of like camera on, something that she could see the monitor. So Carl Jobs has been devoutly checking her and like debunking her speedrun. Pretty professionally, pretty good. Like pretty well.
Was fake. Unfortunately, Queen Ponsalot's effort of faking a blindfolded run was extremely poor. Not only was she using strategies that are just flat out impossible to use while blind, but the blindfold she was using was so thin and obviously fake, even we, the viewers, could see straight through it. Soon enough, people were making videos calling out her fake run, and Queen Ponsalot was beginning to get quite a lot of negative attention. As it turns out, the public doesn't appreciate liars and people who try to fake gaming accomplishments for clout. After receiving backlash, Queen Ponsalot fought back, announcing that she was going to do another blindfolded run of the dragon Alatreon.
Now, here's a little bit of extra additional context that I know of, because I do participate a little bit in Asmongold's community and like Penguin Zero and other YouTubers and stuff. So basically, a lot of her mods actually went into Asmongold's. I don't know if it was his Discord or if it was his Reddit, but they pretty much went in there to like try to get his attention so he would react to the blind speed run.
More proof.
And like get
on
her
the
more
14th
like attention,
of February,
hype,
she went live, and she was stacked
little
to the
did she know
gills
that, of course, getting her this much
anti-cheat
attention would also get her criticism
this
and people
time
actually
she wore
checking
a
in on
genuine
it.
blindfold. She had a hand cam, she had input display, she had paper covering up her monitors, and she was live.
I'm so jelly,
Surely
that's the
there was absolutely no way she could cheat. And with all of this in place, she did it again. She beat the dragon Alatreon in front of hundreds of people. She was so convincing that it seemed like everyone now believed she was legit.
But anyway, yeah, it looks like the Alatreon blindfold kill was actually real. It did actually happen.
Maybe we got it wrong. Maybe Queen Ponsalot was just more gifted than everyone else, and she could really do things blindfolded that no one else could. Or maybe, just maybe, she just cheated again, and we don't know how. Honestly, when I first saw her new successful attempt, I didn't know how she did it. But I did know 2 things. 1, her gameplay was impossible to do blind. And 2, people always underestimate the successful attempt. I didn't know how she did it. But I did know 2 things. 1, her gameplay was impossible to do blind. And 2, people always underestimate the autistic power of speedrunners. I was committed to finding out how this was done. I envisioned sophisticated cheating methods that would be impossible to detect. I figured that whatever Queen Ponsalot did must be pretty genius to fool everyone so easily. For 3 days, I meticulously studied her video. I worked with experts to clarify game mechanics. I spoke with programmers to see if we could replicate her run using advanced software.
At the end of the day, it was like super simple too.
But I was getting nowhere. And then, after 72 hours of running into dead ends, I finally saw it. I noticed that Queen Ponsalot did something that gave everything away. The curtain was lifted, and the magician had exposed her secrets. I had the smoking gun, and within 20 minutes of seeing Queen Ponsalot do this one thing, we knew exactly how she did it, and we had the proof. As it turns out, I was on the wrong track the entire time. I thought the method she used must have been smart because no one detected it. But in the end, it turned out to be the simplest and dumbest method I could have imagined. In this video, I'm going to tell you exactly how Queen Ponsalot faked her most recent blindfolded takedown of the dragon Alatreon. And I guarantee that you'll be shocked at just how many things she did to try and fool you. I really hope you enjoy.
So I'm just looking at Alatreon's
Legends, let's be honest. If you're watching my channel, it's because you are a gigantic nerd. I'm a huge nerd, you're a huge nerd, that's just the way it is. And as nerds, there is nothing more important or fulfilling than having a really good gaming PC. Which is why you should invest in a PC from today's sponsor, Starforge Systems. Starforge makes things super easy, especially for people like me who don't know how or just don't want to build their own PC. They offer amazing pre-built PCs at all different price points, so if you go in with a certain budget, you know you're going to get the best you can for your money.
Is it just me, or does it look like... I know it's a hammer, but... that don't look right. Like, that really don't look... I'm sorry, but that really does look like a nutsack and shaft, bro.
Starforge PCs are used by tons of your favorite creators, including myself. They are built by hand in Austin, Texas by experienced builders. They look beautiful, and they run smoothly. Plus, they are reliable, coming with a full 2-year parts and labor warranty. I rely on my PC for absolutely everything, including this YouTube channel. My standards are extremely high. I need something powerful and I need something quiet. And the PC I got from Starforge Systems was literally everything I could have asked for. Please get yourself a PC you deserve. The link to Starforge Systems will be in the description. Go and check out their PCs today. In my previous video, we looked at Queen Ponsalot's earlier blindfolded runs, where she used a really thin, transparent sheet of material to cover her eyes and pretended that she couldn't see. In this case, it was so easy to debunk because everyone can just use their own eyes and see that her blindfold was fake. As far as her gameplay was concerned, it's also really obvious that she can see as well. She claims to use the audio to know exactly where the monster is, but years of blindfolded competition tells us that this is impossible. I also highlighted that beyond knowing where the monster is, it's also impossible to detect whether you are looking up or down. So if you see a blindfolded player using their mouse to look up or down, you know they can see. In her latest attempt, we see all of those impossible gameplay mechanics in action once again. And in some cases, it's even worse. She will access the menu in order to use items and mess up the camera, and then immediately and perfectly fix it. She even does this when the dragon is not making any sounds at all, so there is quite literally no audio cue, like in this example. Beyond the impossible vertical movement, we also see crazy head tracking in real time that is just laughable. I mean, just look at this gameplay.
And that's the thing, it's like, I'm sorry, but I just don't think you could track their
head like that. In the last clip, she is rolling underneath the dragon, keeping the camera on its head perfectly as she does it. It's hilarious. And remember, looking up does nothing. It doesn't let her hit any higher. So there is literally no point in doing this.
Don't get me wrong. I am absolutely the kind of player that I've had Razors. I've had... Let's see. What's the whole... I've had Razors, Corsairs, the... Steel Series... I've gotten all of their cheapest, but like entry-level models with 3D spatial sound. And it sounds really cool for music and other stuff, and movies and stuff. But when it comes to, like, most games and most stuff like this, I've played... Admittedly, it was Monster Hunter World, right? Was it World or Rise? Rise. It was Rise. I think I'm lying. I think it was Rise. Was it Rise? What was the one before World? The one before this current one. I think we're currently on Monster Hunter World. Monster Hunter Rise, I think, is the one I played it with. And at least for that one, I think I could track the monster, like, more or less if it was to my left, my right, behind me. But not really, like, I couldn't track the head, like, the way that she's tracking it here. That's a little too outrageous. And I'm not a great player at Monster Hunter. I'm a very amateur player. I solo play Monster Hunter.
Other than to see the head, which makes no sense if you're blindfolded. All of this seems very confusing, because she appears to be wearing a proper blindfold. And as I mentioned before, her monitors are even covered up with paper, meaning that she can't see them anyway. This led me to consider other ways she might be playing without seeing. One way would be some kind of aimbot. Aimbots are common in many games, so it's possible if she had some kind of sophisticated software, it could help her aim on the dragon. This would solve the problem of locating the dragon, and also solve the vertical aiming issue. However, this wouldn't solve all of the problems, like being able to dodge attacks that don't have sound cues. In one instance, she accidentally hooks onto Alatreon's leg instead of its head, and immediately releases before targeting the head again. But there is no
yeah, see, like, there's no way you would know that you accidentally latched onto the leg.
Audible difference between hooking onto the leg or the head, so there is no way she should have known. In order to solve issues like this, I theorized that maybe someone was talking to her and giving her instructions through Discord. With someone in her ear and some aim assist software, you might be able to play like this without sight. I reached out to Monster Hunter World expert TSC, who actually developed the first known aimbot of the game. According to him, if she was using an aimbot to achieve this effect, it would require software far more...
I gotta be real, I've never really used any of the ranged weapons in Monster Hunter. In my opinion, it's still impressive that she can fight the boss blindfold or not. Yeah, no, in general, that boss is, like, supposed to be really, really tough. But it's just kind of like, why lie about it, though? Because there is an active community of players that are trying to beat the boss blindfolded. Like, so why try to, like, why the stolen valor, so to speak?
Sophisticated than anyone in the community currently possesses. It seems unlikely that this was the method. The most common theory I saw online was that she was using pre-recorded gameplay. Maybe she beat Alatreon earlier and just played that gameplay footage during her live stream. Something like this has been done before. I even made a video about a speedrunner who cheated by using a pre-recorded run during a live charity marathon. However, I didn't believe this was the case. Queen Ponzelot had 2 cameras and they were both completely in sync. I studied her mouse movements and they always seemed to match what was going on in the game. And so did her keyboard inputs. Her mouse sensitivity was very high, so a lot of movements are hard to see, but I couldn't see any discrepancies. It did appear as though she was actually playing. In my opinion, this also ruled out the idea that someone else was playing instead of her. Perhaps...
I'm not gonna lie, whenever I play Monster Hunter games, I full-blown go for the long sword, not the great big buster sword, but like the long sword, the ninja sword, idiot, the katana, the samurai sword, there we go. I believe the actual name is what, Nodaichi? The super extra long katana, you know what I mean? The Nodaichi that they call it? Nodaichi? I don't know the exact name, I'll be honest with you, I'm sort of... But, I freaking love it. I love all the cool animations, the, like, slicing them up and you freaking I freaking love with the bugs, the sling bugs. Whenever you would freaking go all ham with the freaking long sword, that was sick, dude. I don't care if that's like the most freaking like a generic freaking like mainstream option. I freaking love it, dude. I feel like
by using remote assistance. This is an idea that the YouTuber Abisoft spent some time investigating to see if it could work. But aside from her mouse movements matching her gameplay, latency issues would also be a huge problem. Some people suggested that she was using a magician's blindfold and she could see through it. But this is extremely unlikely. Her blindfold doesn't look like any fake blindfold I could find, and we know what blindfold she has because it was recommended to her. Blindfolded expert Mitris has the exact same one, and it looks exactly the same. One other thing people noticed, and we know what blindfold she has because it was recommended to her. Blindfolded expert.
Look at this dude's screen right now. Like, this is what he has to deal with on a genuine blindfolded speed run.
But Mitris has the exact same one, and it looks exactly the same. One other thing people noticed, and trust me, we noticed this immediately too, is that after Queen Ponzelot killed Alatreon and lifted the paper up, there was something on her screen. And it seemed like she noticed this and moved the paper back down to try and hide it.
I pause it.
Remember the situation with Magnetar? He was raising the necessary funds to sue Mama Max for defaming him with fabricated... What? Really? Oh, okay, yeah, I remember. I remember about him suing him. I didn't know it had that much on it. Okay. Commentary creators Riveter and D-Max falsely accused him of running a scam. Going to bed. Oh, I thought you typoed got to go.
The thing.
I remember hearing about him, of Mama Max getting some
and then watch what happens. She puts it back down.
False accusations. I can only imagine more of that's going to be happening since he freaking admitted to
trying to hide
so much of his content.
And then the game comes back up.
Can I just say, I freaking love her freaking...
I pause it.
Her model.
What is on the screen?
I didn't know Monster Hunter armor could look that sexy.
Is Monster Hunter
Every time I get on it, freaking just looks like I put a piece of monster like meat on my
to cover
body.
She's quickly trying to hide it.
Which armor is that?
And then the game comes back up on screen.
This is the Windows Start menu, and the reason it appeared is because she hit the Windows key. In fact, she hits the Windows key multiple times throughout her blindfolded attempts. This bugged the hell out of us, and we had no idea why she was doing it. Could this have something to do with how she was faking her gameplay? At seemingly random times, she would hit the Windows key, which would tab her out of the game. This caused her inputs to stop working. She would then need to hit the escape key to try and get back into the game. Watch this clip where she hits the Windows key and then spends 10 seconds trying to get the game to work again.
Okay, so first of all, why is she doing that? Second of all, how did she know? How did she know that she got stuck? If she can't see? Like, the attacks were still going, the fighting was still happening, the sound effects are still going. How does she know that she's stuck?
Then spends 10 seconds trying to get the game to work again.
Yeah, so she I'm assuming accidentally hits Windows. How does she know she's stuck? How does she know she's stuck? So she presses escape.
This is bizarre, and she does this multiple times without ever mentioning it. She acts as if this really weird thing that she is doing isn't happening, which is obviously really suspicious. Ultimately, it seems like this is some kind of unrelated tech issue that she was having with her eye tracker. Multiple times before she even started her blindfolded attempts, we can see her hitting the Windows key in order to fix something. She even mentioned it earlier in her stream.
We needed to fix the Toby.
She has an eye tracker? What does the eye tracker do? How does that work? What is that for? What's the point?
I think this tech issue has nothing to do with her blindfolded attempts, but an important question to ask is how did she know there was a problem? She was blindfolded and
so he
couldn't
even freaking
see,
refunded
but
everyone?
knew there was some
That's
kind of
nice.
technical
That's
issue
cool.
and always tried to fix it. And she did all of this
That's cool,
without
'cause that is
looking
not a
and
requirement.
without saying anything to her audience. It's all really bizarre. In the end, however, after discovering the truth, I realized this was a giant red herring. After several days of brainstorming, I was beginning to run out of ideas. But then, in the middle of the night, I revisited a question I had from day one. There was something that Queen Ponsalot did that was...
I thought you said Magnetar quit his podcast. Okay, Riveter quit his podcast. Oh wow, he just couldn't take the criticism. Okay.
Was really strange, and I couldn't figure it out. Immediately after she covers her main monitor with paper, while she is attempting to distract her viewers, she holds down her left mouse button for 10 seconds. This was actually one of the very first things I noticed when investigating her run, but I never had an answer as to why she did it. Normally, when you hold a button down for a few seconds, it activates something, and this was one of the reasons I thought she was using some kind of software. But I had overlooked something that was so obvious and so simple, I can't believe I didn't see it immediately. Once I understood what she was doing, it was game over. Holding her mouse button down for 10 seconds told me everything I needed to know. It unlocked all of her secrets. It revealed to me that there was in fact a third hidden monitor.
There you go.
Queen Ponsalot wants us to believe that she only has 2 monitors. When she covers them up, she makes sure to verbally state that her monitor on the left has all of her other stuff on it.
To the main attraction as we get our duct tape for our main monitor because, yeah. There's the other one. So you guys know.
Now here's the other thing, right? Because
all my other stuff on it.
Because there was a really good point. If you guys haven't seen, one of her mods went onto Asmongold's like stream and like made the argument like about like how it was legit and what can she do, and like one of the things that was brought up is like just turn off the monitors. You didn't have to put paper over them. You could have just turned all the monitors, just have all the monitors off and have one camera behind her that has every monitor in the room in the frame. What do you mean? Like, it's not that complicated.
Lie. In truth, she has a third monitor to her right, off camera. Before she covers it with paper, we can see that her main monitor has her OBS streaming software on it. This shows her gameplay, and it also has her Twitch chat docked into it as well. One thing that struck me as odd is how she decided to wait until her monitors were covered with paper before setting everything up. This makes no logical sense, and she even tries to act like this wasn't on purpose.
Sorry, I put my hand over my thing. Cool. Yeah, I can't see Carl Jobs' video anymore. Let me pause it. Did I pause? Yeah, I did. So I can see it on my OBS because I have a two computer setup. So I can see it on my OBS. I cannot see it on my monitor. I can see my chat, which is on a secondary monitor. If I turn off that one too, you can hear y'all heard that. What if I play? If I press play? It keeps going. Yeah. So that's not an excuse, even on my setup. And I really thought my setup is like really freaking scuffed. Yeah, no, I don't believe that. All right, there you go. No, you could totally turn your monitors off. You could totally have the monitors off and
because she had to ensure that what she did was hidden from the camera. This is where the beauty of the input display comes in, because we can still see everything she's doing, but it's obvious she is trying to hide it. What she does next is very sneaky. She lifts up the paper on her main monitor, which has her OBS on it. She clicks on her OBS window and holds down the mouse key. Then, while she is holding down the mouse button, she distracts her audience with verbal diarrhea.
Where is... That's why we go through what we go through, right? You know? And it's the way that it has to be. And,
Next is the key that I should have seen immediately. What is the most common thing you do when you hold down your mouse button? You drag windows. While talking, she drags her OBS to her hidden monitor on the right. We can confirm this with the input display. We can see her hand move it to the right, and she even looks at her hidden monitor on the right when she does this.
Stuff on Twitch and on YouTube, bro.
That's why we go through what we go through, right? You know? And it's the way that it has to be. And,
She will use her OBS on the hidden monitor to see the game. Immediately after this, she pretends to move the OBS to her left monitor.
Look at that!
Alright, move that over. Okay. Okay.
Move that over there.
She moves
hasn't
her
even
mouse
lifted
to
up the
the
paper
left,
to look
she
at
looks to the left, and she even says that she's moving something. However, we can see on the input display, she doesn't even click her mouse.
Move that over. Okay.
Now, despite the fact her monitor on the right is supposed to be a secret, she cannot help but stare at it constantly. She even responds to this exact message in chat while looking at it. However, mid-sentence she realizes how stupid this is and stops talking.
Alright. Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
Oh, she even responds to chat on the third monitor!
After panicking and thinking for 10 seconds, she tries to fix this mistake and pretends she read the message from the monitor on the left.
Oh yeah. Everything will be unedited.
Yeah, she realized she messed up.
The last thing you said, unedited.
What was the last thing you said?
The funny thing about Queen Pongelot reading chat from her hidden monitor is that it's completely unnecessary. There is no need to have chat there in the first place. And it just causes her to constantly look at it, making it obvious it's there.
Don't look
and
at
it also
chat.
causes her to screw up by responding to it.
It's a freaking blindfolded run! You're gonna be blindfolded! What do you need chat up for? You're not gonna be able to read it!
She just couldn't help herself, and she really wanted to see all of her fans talking about her as she was playing. So we know that she has a monitor to her right, but how does she see it? Well, the secret is in how she's wearing her blindfold.
Yeah,
she's wearing it very, very loosely. It's barely able to stay on her face, and on top of that, she wears it very high. This is not how you're supposed to wear a blindfold. Anyone who owns a blindfold like this knows you don't wear them loose, you wear them tight. If you wear them loose, light gets in. By wearing her blindfold loose, she can see through a small gap between her nose and the blindfold.
And as she's putting it on, she looks at the monitor on the right. Of course he does.
Gamer Juzzy has already replicated her exact setup. In his case, he showed his two monitors which he turned off, he wore a proper blindfold, he used the exact same input display, and he had a hand cam. With all of this, he also killed Alatreon in expert fashion.
So he did it himself, basically, defeated Alatreon, but didn't claim to do it blindfold. He claimed like, I'm just gonna do it to show you that it's possible. With it on.
Here, he explains how he did it.
As you can see now, my monitors are off and I'm blindfolded, but despite my short-sightedness without glasses,
I gotta get back on Apex,
I can clearly see these targets and shoot at them. And why is that? It's because there's a secret here. Right now, I'm wearing the blindfold, right? But I can see out the gaps between my nose and my blindfold, and if I wore it even looser, I'd be able to see out the sides left and right in my peripheral vision. Then the next step to the trick is the fact that another thing you guys noticed, there's two monitors here, right? But they're not the only ones. There's a third monitor on my left.
On top of wearing her blindfold very loosely, Queen Pongelot also sits back in her chair and looks up in an unnatural way. This is to get a better viewing angle. Before her attempt with the new blindfold, she had spent around 1 hour playing with her old blindfold over multiple days.
Again, none of this would matter if you just freaking turned it off.
And weeks, and for that entire time, she always sat like this. She was leaning forward and looking directly in front of her. This is because while her blindfold was partially obscuring her sight, she could see straight through it and was looking at the monitor directly in front of her. With the new blindfold, she can't see through the front of it, which is why she has now completely changed her sitting position so she can see down and to the side. This is not a normal way to sit, and world-class blindfold speedrunner Bubsia confirms that when you see someone sitting in this position, it's a giant red flag.
And if I curve up even more, but that's already looking very sus, I guess, if you sit there like your neck breaking. If I sit like this, for example, I can see half of my monitor, I can see OBS right now. Literally, I can see the volume meters going up. I can see the picture. If I turn a bit, I can see the other monitor.
And it's as simple as that. There is a hidden monitor on the right, and she is playing through her OBS, which she discreetly moved to it. I can't believe I spent so much time researching aimbots when the solution was so stupidly basic. And while it's so easy just to say there was a hidden monitor, which some people did, it's an entirely different story to provide concrete evidence. The fact that we can literally see her move OBS to the hidden screen, the fact that she reads chat from it, the fact that she stares at it constantly, the fact that she wears her blindfold so loosely, and the fact that she sits in such a weird position all prove beyond a reasonable doubt that this is the way she cheated. But here is my favorite part. After she has killed Alatreon, and while paper is still covering her screen, she looks directly at the hidden monitor and moves the camera around perfectly. It's like she's not even trying to hide it. And beyond all of this, the simple fact remains, the way she played the game is impossible to do if you can't see. Now let's be real for a second. At the end of the day, this entire thing isn't a big deal. This is just silly, fun internet drama, and it's just really interesting to learn how Queen Ponsalot faked her blindfold runs. Personally, I'm not emotionally charged about this. I just love trying to expose video game fraudsters because I enjoy it. This whole back and forth is honestly really entertaining. But make no mistake, her behavior is not healthy, and it's not a good thing. There are gamers who spend thousands of hours legitimately trying to do amazing things without the ability to see. Blindfolded gaming takes a lot of hard work, and it takes a lot of ingenuity. And Queen Ponsalot keeps taking a giant steaming dump on all of their efforts.
And that's really
because of her actions, people are going to trust the accomplishments of real gamers even less. Skepticism will disproportionately rise, and the public will become even more cynical. But on the flip side, maybe that's a good thing. The amount of people who threw common sense to the wayside and took her runs at face value is pretty shocking. Maybe people do need to be a bit more skeptical, and maybe this lesson was an important one to learn. Let me know what you think in the comments. I worked with a group of gamers who helped me do research for this video, including the YouTuber Abisoft, who is also releasing a video about this most recent run. I know for a fact he is including many details I haven't mentioned myself, so if you want to learn even more, please go and check out his video as well. The link will be in the description. Thank you so much for watching, you legends. I hope you're having a fantastic day, and I will see you in the next video.
In general, I feel like the veil of the internet is starting to fall, and people are starting to see that just how wild and crazy it is, and how scary it can be. It is interesting. What the frick is this? I should check this out later. Like, comment, and subscribe. Follow me on Twitch. Live reactions every Friday. So swing by.